Have you ever wondered why so many big AAA games look so incredible, but somehow feel empty or boring at the same time?
In this video, I will explain you why modern big budget games often feel safe and predictable, and I will show you a method which could help you to understand your own tastes so you can filter out games before you waste your time and money on it. It's based on a psychological model which explains how we experience art, and I will get to it later in the video.
AAA games follow one simple rule: reach the biggest audience possible to make as much money as possible. The creative goal to surprise us and be original comes second. Huge budgets make studios afraid of risks. They want games that everyone can understand and like, and they add a little bit of everything: a bit of romance, a bit of comedy, a bit of drama, and maybe also some action. Everything is mixed together, nothing too sharp. It feels like these games were produced in a lab using a formula, and this is what they actually do. They take a formula that worked in the past and appealed to a broad audience and use it over and over again to avoid risks. A perfect example of it is Marvel movies or Assassin's Creed games. Or maybe some example from my personal life. Recently, I bought Spider Man and Final Fantasy VII Intergrade. Both are good, polished games. I had big hopes for them and I was very excited when I started playing, but after I finished them, I cannot say that they were surprising or genius. Some smaller project I played recently felt far more creative. I think great art is often polarizing. If nobody is shocked or confused, it means nothing truly new happened. For instance, Hideo Kojima said he felt a little sad because Death Stranding 2 wasn't as divisive as the first game.
And here's a quote.
If everyone likes it, it means it's mainstream. It means it's conventional. It means it's already pre-digested for people to like it. And I don't want that. I want people to end up liking things they didn't like when they first encountered it, because that's where you really end up loving something. And that was really a lesson for me. Not doing stuff to please people, but to make them shift a little bit and move them. Because if there is no surprise, there was no risk, no genius. And AAA games avoid this exact kind of risk. When something is made for everyone, it becomes safe entertainment, not art.
And here's an important question: is it even possible to create real art which is liked by everyone? I don't think so.
And before I explain my opinion, I would like to show you a quote from Vivienne Westwood, a famous fashion designer. This quote basically motivated me to create this video.
Art should not be popular. It depends on a few people. But during the 20th century, artists and intellectuals, they abdicated their responsibility. Their responsibility is to the truth of things. The artist is not responsible to me. His responsibility is to his vision. He must exteriorize himself according to his vision, see the world as it is. That's what I want from him. And in fact, what happened is everybody just wanted to be popular. You know, oh, democracy. Everybody can be an artist. There are no values. The only values are in the wonderful democracy, the salt of the earth. You know, and so art, the value of it was transferred from the thing itself, from the object, to the subjective point of the person who appreciates it. And so art can be anything. It just depends on whether he likes it or she likes it.
At first, I thought she was just arrogant, but the more I thought about her words, the more I agreed with her. Let me explain why. Here's an example. Imagine two players. One loves romance in games, and the other one hates it. You cannot satisfy both deeply with one story. And this is what happens with mass art. It becomes a mix of everything, but never truly great in any of the directions. Or another comparison. Imagine two workers. One is good at everything, but not really amazing at anything, a generalist, and another worker who is only good at one thing, but exceptionally good at it, a specialist. A generalist can be good, but only a specialist can be a genius. So the goal AAA companies are trying to pursue is not even achievable. No matter how much money they spend, they will not be able to create a genius work of art that appeals to everyone, especially when you consider the pressure from investors on game developers to make more money and avoid risks.
But how can we define what is genius and what is not? Art is a very subjective topic, and many players, including myself, don't even understand why they liked a certain game.
So, what about using Metacritic scores or Steam reviews to decide whether a game is good for you? On a very basic level, they do work. They're actually pretty useful at filtering out games that are just broken, unfinished, or fundamentally dysfunctional. If a game is sitting, let's say, a 60 or below, there's a decent chance that something went seriously wrong. Technical issues, poor design, or simply a lack of care. In that sense, review aggregators are a kind of a safety net. But that's where their real usefulness ends. Metacritic isn't measuring artistic value, it's measuring consensus. It's the sum of thousands of opinions averaged into a single number. And that number mainly tells us how broadly acceptable a game is. In other words, Metacritic is less a metric for great art or genius games and more a metric for successful pop art. How well a game satisfies a large general audience. A high score usually means the game is polished, accessible, and competently designed. It's a good product, but a good product isn't necessarily great art. Some of the most interesting experimental or emotionally challenging games are divisive by nature. They frustrate some players, they confuse others, they don't aim to please everyone, and because of that, their scores often land between, let's say, 80 and 70, so somewhere in the middle maybe. So the Metacritic score might be a hint for a genius game, but it can never prove it. And that raises the real question. If review scores aren't personalized, if they reward popularity over risk, then is there actually a way to find the genius games? The ones you will truly love?
And there are some scientific models developed by psychologists which help us to understand why we actually like art.
One such model is the ladder model. It explains how we experience art in 5 stages. The first one is the perception. Does it have nice visuals and sound? Or maybe it looks too chaotic and we actually don't like it because of it. The second stage is the familiarity. Have I seen something like this before? Maybe it's a franchise you like, for example, Star Wars or Resident Evil. Familiarity increases liking, but at the same time, mild novelty increases interest. This is why developers need a good balance between old and new. But in general, it is something good. The third stage, expectations. Classifying something sets expectations that could align with your preferences. For example, if you like horror games and you see a new trailer for the next Silent Hill game, it is very likely that you will have a positive feeling toward it. Stage number 4, understanding. What does it mean? Can I understand this? People enjoy art that rewards understanding of complex things. In the last stage, emotion. For example, fear, joy, tension, or sadness. How does it make me feel? Do I like this? If an artwork triggers strong feelings in you, it is very likely that you will enjoy it. And different games shine in different areas. Here are some personal examples from me. The first one is Disco Elysium. This game would trigger the stage 4 and 3 in me, so understanding and expectation. Expectation because I had a strong expectation that it would be a game with deep meaning, and I like this type of games. And understanding because, it was also interesting for me to understand the character and how I could shape his personality. Another example from me, Resident Evil. Here, the emotion and the perception would play a big role. The emotion because for me, it's a mix of different emotions if I play this game. I feel kind of loneliness and terror, but also powerful because I know I can handle it. Another aspect I like about it is the eccentric style of the characters. So the perception, the style of the game. Just look at Lady Dimitrescu or Mr. X, they just look cool. Both games are, for me, masterpieces, but for different reasons. So this model can help you to understand your own taste. If you love games that make you think, you probably like stage 4. If you love emotional intensity, it would be stage 5 emotion for you. If atmosphere and visuals matter, stage 1 perception. If you enjoy games that feel instantly familiar and easy to understand, it would be stage 2 for you. Maybe if you like a franchise, for example. And once you know which stages are important for you, you can filter out games that don't match your taste and find new games that you will actually love. So basically it gives you a map of your personal taste. And by the way, this is how my personal map would look like. Once we know what we are looking for, you might ask yourself, where can we actually find genius games? And if you compare indie and AAA games, they sit on opposite ends. Indie games are risky and full of fresh ideas, but often they are small and sometimes messy. And AAA games, we already discussed it before, are huge and beautiful, but often predictable and safe. So one gives originality, the other gives spectacle. It's hard to get both at the same time. And between them lies AA, mid-budget games that combine the best of both worlds. Enough money for good scope, enough freedom to take risks, less pressure to please everyone. Just an example, Expedition 33, which won the most awards at the Game Awards recently, clearly shows this. It is bold, immersive, yet polished enough to reach a broad audience. Or some other great examples include Hellblade, a Blacktail, or Kingdom Come Deliverance. This category shows that creativity and quality don't need to be sacrificed for budget or audience size. So the problem with AAA games isn't that they are bad, it's that they are built to offend no one. And art that offends no one rarely excites anyone.
And once you understand why certain games resonate with you, whether it's the atmosphere of the game, or maybe the visuals, or the understanding part, you will stop chasing the hype and will start choosing the experiences you actually like.
Use the ladder model I showed you as a filter, not to judge games as good or bad, but to ask a better question. Is this game made for me? And when you find a game that takes a risk, commits fully to its vision, and hits your personal sweet spot, that's when games stop feeling like products and start feeling like art. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.